Hey guys, welcome to MediQ. My name is King. I'm a 4th year medical student studying at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to prepare for the admission interview for CUHK medicine. No matter you are DSE, IB, GCE, med school transfer, internal transfer, postgraduates. The reason being, I think admission interview for me is one of the, if not the most stressful part of the application procedures. I remember I would scout through the internet for any useful information at all, and to be honest, there's not much about it, and I find it quite frustrating for me, so I kind of understand how you may feel right now. And especially in the current virus outbreak, there's incredible uncertainty for you guys, and that's why I want to make this video to share my experience and kind of give some tips on how to prepare for it. But as per usual, disclaimer, this is my experience, it is not a guideline, and in no way represent the faculty's view, so just take my advice as reference. If you like this video, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing to your friends. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I'm gonna share on how to prepare the interview questions from start to finish. And I will divide them into 3 parts. So first is researching, second prioritization, and third distillation. So for researching, basically, if you type medicine admission interview, there got tons of questions online. But the problem is, if you type Hong Kong medical school admission interview, you won't find much information, and which I tried. So what I did was I searched for interview questions for med school in UK, US, Canada, Australia. Which, to be honest, there is some slight variation due to different demographics, different interview formats. But the key is to get a sense of what would be asked in a normal medicine admission interview. And then I will form a list of questions. I call it a question bank. Back then, it was around 300 questions that I prepared for, which is a lot, because I really didn't know what would be asked during a CUHK medicine interview, right? So I tried to cater as many angles as possible. Step 2, prioritization. You may ask, should I do all 300 questions? And I would say, that really depends on your time. If you have 3 to 4 months to prepare these questions, then go ahead. But if you're watching this video, chances are you got a month or less to prepare for them, which is quite unrealistic to do so. Therefore, I will prioritize these questions based on its relevance and importance. For instance, questions like why medicine, what is your strengths and weaknesses, these are very relevant and fundamental questions. So these are important ones. So focus on them first. For those less important ones, do when you have time. The importance of prioritization is that in a month or less, you're going into an interview that involves multiple aspects, that include personal questions, which you should be more familiar with, ethical questions, current situation. All these takes time to familiarize yourself with the concepts, to read the news, ethical guidelines, etc. Therefore, you should focus on the most important one, and when you have time, to move on to the second tier, then the third tier. The second reason being, you may need a couple of alterations to find an answer that you are most comfortable with. It took me around 40 versions of tell me about yourself until I'm really satisfied with the results. So you have to account for times for these back and forth process. Step 3, distillation. It is to turn your answer from a paragraph form into point form. So in a 15 to 20 minutes interview, every second matter. There's only a handful of questions going to be asked. So you need to be efficient in answering them, get to the point, allowing time for the interviewer to explore various aspects of yourself. So if you in an interview you spend 5 minutes to talk about one strength versus using the 5 minutes to talk about 5 strengths, which will favor you more? But obviously, you need to strike a balance because some points are worth exploring further. So therefore, you need to allocate your time smartly to benefit yourself the most. So the problem with paragraph is that during an interview, which is quite stressful, you may forget part of the answer, and that greatly affect your performance. You'll be panicking, and because you were too focused on reciting the right answer. Instead, if you use point form, you can just remember, hey, I got 3 points I want to talk about. And that offers great flexibility because sometimes the interviewer may ask the question in a way not identical how you prepared the questions for. So what you can do is do a mix and match to build an answer that best fit the question. Anyway, this is the end of the first part of how to prepare your admission interview for CUHK Medicine. Hope you guys like it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to others. And if you're interested in my medical journey or just want to know what's like to be a medical student in Hong Kong, follow my Instagram account. So see you guys in part 2. Bye!